Hello and welcome back to the Colony with Man and Antz. Today we are taking a quick look at Slotracer VR. So first of all, a massive thank you to the devs for providing the key so I could take a look at the game. Now obviously, this is a slot racing VR game. Now there is an obvious comparison there to a very famous brand of slot racing cars, which begins with scale and ends in Etrix. But obviously it is not officially sanctioned or licensed by those in any way, but I'm sure a lot of you out there had something similar to this. Maybe not quite as expansive as this, because mine definitely wasn't. But at some point in your childhood, and it was, if you're anything like me, it was 90% picking the car up off the floor and 10% flinging it around corners way too fast. That's basically what I achieved with mine. Mine was in the loft and I had quite an occasionally dangerous climb up to get into it, but I was very determined to play it nonetheless. Anyway, we shall hit single player. We shall hit campaign. Ooh, there are quite a lot of tracks, aren't there? So we actually have some locked behind in all previous races. That does seem a little excessive, perhaps. Okay, we should do European Forest. Level 1 then, shall we? Win all bronze medals to unlock reward vehicle. Ooh. Okay. So let's see how this goes. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, why is it on that? I don't like it on that hand at all. No. Can I? Whoa. It's freaking me out being on that hand. Let's head into the options and see if I can change that. Locomotion hand left, yes please. My word, that was horrible. Ugh. Now then. There we go, that's how it should be. Look at this look. I mean, you would have been very lucky to have something like this. Well, we do appear to be in a loft room though. So what do? Do we just pick our car? Fairly similar. Quite like the green. Quite like the green with its carbon. So we just put that bop down there. Pick up any controller. Hold close to car and press to bind. Pull the trigger to accelerate. Oh. Is there a way of resetting myself? Because, I don't know what I thought was going to happen when I let go. If we just hit start race, what happens? Mark yourself as ready. Well, I'm not really, though, am I? Can I just... Oh, I can just go over there and grab my car. Oh, I see. I see. Oh, calm down. There we go. Okay. I'm ready. I'm pressing the button. Is it because my car was not in the correct place when I started? I mean, it has to go there. Ah, it's because it wasn't... Yes, there we go. Okay. Oh, we were going. Oh, I'm already down. So yeah, this is pretty much what I remember from my childhood. It's just like I say, 90% picking it up off the floor. There we go. Now we got something a bit better going. Oh, we're down again. So there isn't obviously a brake, it's all just to do with the trigger. So you do have to be just quite careful with the... because the index triggers don't have a huge range of movement to them. Oh, so you're trying to just balance on the knife edge. You got sort of... There's a place about halfway down on the trigger where you can seem to get around all of it without releasing it. So then you're trying to just pull back. You're trying to depress it just a little bit more on the straights. I'm generally not doing so well. If I already lost, I finished second. Well, that's not bad, is it? Second's okay. Let's head back to the main menu. Yeah, second. I'm alright with second. It's a shame we're not, because I'm not going to be able to do all 9 races, I suspect. It'd be nice if I could have just jumped to some, or if you had like, we'll have a quick look at the track creation. That could be interesting. Hello, Cybertruck. We'll go with the green one this time. We'll have a little bit of a practice. We're already down. We're already down. It's a terrible start. Or do we have to go back to the beginning each time? We're already down again. Oh, that's a very slow corner. Oh, wow. Let's try the other car, see if it's quite as finicky as that. Or if it is just the course. This seems a little better, doesn't it? Yeah, still gonna have to be careful on those corners though. Okay, we can do this. I like that it gives you this opportunity to practice before you actually do the race. Oh, I'm already down. Oh, I'm down again. It's because I'm behind, so I'm trying to catch up. Oh, it's... Come on, you can do this, you can do this. Oh, come on, that corner every time. Oh, it is such a narrow margin you have to play with on the trigger, particularly for those corners. Oh, we got round one, we got round one. We must be getting better. Oh, we almost got T-boned there. I can't even get around that corner now. Oh, I wanted to... I've gone too far. I wanted to stand on the junction and see if I could... Oh. I didn't see any sort of difficulty options, so... I guess you're either good at this and you're going to beat the car. So you can get past them. We are obviously just like a lap... Oh, and I did that again. We are like obviously a lap behind. I'm sure you can go around those corners faster than I can as well. See, all that whole lap that we did was pretty good. But yeah, we finished second, unsurprisingly. But you seem to sort of getting the hang of it now, aren't we? What I want to do... Get up. Oh, I can't because it's over. I can't even pick it up. Well, there we go. Oh, wrong one. Okay, that's fine. Leave it there. What happens when he comes round? Oh. Obviously it's set so he can't get destroyed in that way, like I was sort of hoping. We can't do that one? Why can't we play anything? What's going on? Oh. Nothing, the buttons were just greyed out for no reason. Okay, that was confusing. Well, let's go for this one. This one looks nice. Missed. Is that... There we go. We'll go for red this time. Bit of a practice. Slow around there. Pretty much I think if we can do like a lap without coming off the track, I think we're pretty much going to be okay. Oh. Why wouldn't it? It's just going. How can I mark myself as ready to go? Oh, did I not do that? I thought I did that. There we go. Oh, good start, good start. Yeah, this one's a little easier if you can just hold the trigger in the right place. You don't need to mess around. You can just get past. Oh, you almost can get past him. I must have just slightly pressed it in a little bit in my excitement. Come on now, smashing it, smashing it. Yeah, you're way behind, mate, you're way behind. Oh, that was close. That was close, you almost had a collision there. And I bet I come off worse than the collisions as well. I bet the assumption is you always muck up. And it is always your fault. Got very 80s music, hasn't it? Which seems quite appropriate. Oh, finished! I finished! Oh no. I did finish? I did finish. I finished. I came first? No. What? Don't really understand. Okay. I was going to say let's skip ahead a little bit. I'm sure they're not all that different, but let's try this one. Well, not the Cybertruck, because that was just death before. Ooh, this is where it starts to get trickier, because now we can't finish last. I'm not even going to practice, we're just going to go for it. I'm hoping... Ooh. Hoping one of the AI competitors just is very bad. How do you overtake them if you get into, like, last position? It would also have been nice if I could have picked a car that was a different colour to some of the competitors. Rather than... I suppose I could have gone with the Cybertruck. But that seemed quite dangerous. It does have some sort of points where you can change your track lane. You see, I caught up with that Cybertruck there, and now I can't get past him. It's costing me my first position. I don't know how you would change... I hoped what would happen is it would automatically... change the lane if you were... caught behind someone, but that doesn't seem to be the case. See, we might not be able to come first because that Cybertruck is so slow. Oh, we're not doing so well. Where are we? Oh, all the way back there. Oh, we've caught up with him again. We got past him somehow. Did we force him into a crash? Is that... We must have forced him into a crash and not crashed ourselves. I don't know how that works, but we did it. Are we finished? And we came third, which is... Well, but it says I finished, but... It also says race ends in 43 seconds, so I don't know if it has finished or not, because it didn't give us the medal before, did it? There we go, now it's finished. So I'm going to have to go do that other race again. I'm going to try and power through these so we can see the American desert, I think. That would be quite nice. Let's try and do that. Look at this course. This one's crazy. I am in dead last. So this one might be the one which causes us some problems. So I'm struggling a bit more with this one, but I just wanted to come back and just show you this course, because this like winding mountain roads is awesome. And again, I want to show off this course. It's not quite as windy and mountainous as the previous one, but it's just like a really long... Oh, I got myself in trouble there. Oh, I am in trouble. I'm in last. Shouldn't have started talking. It's just this kind of long... Got a lot of camber on the track there. You have to turn around quite... See, now, this is where I get stuck. Like, how do I get past people? So I'm in last. The one in front of me is on the same track as me. Oh, there we go. That worked. Wait for them to crash is the answer. Oh, and then hit that guy and crash yourself. Now I don't know where I am. But yeah, again, I really like this track. Again, I've not even finished a lap of this track, but already I want to show this off. Because, again, they're just really well done. This huge looping, like, mountain loop. Got all the camber on it going up the top there. Working my way back down to this little forest lakey bit. They're just beautiful. They're just really well done. Couldn't be more impressed with the tracks. Something that'd be very easy to sort of dismiss and sort of half-ass a bit, but no, they seem to really put a lot of thought into them. I'm really, really impressed. Good job, guys. Good job. And I've not even started this track yet, but I immediately wanted to bring you in to show you it, because a nighttime track, a nighttime course. How amazing is that? I don't know what the purpose of the solar panels is over there, not even part of the actual track, but I mean, look at that. It goes all the way around. Crazy. Now, there are only 2 cars, so you can only come a second, which I suspect it means this is going to be a little bit more difficult than before. Let's find out. I'm very tentative to start. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is huge. And then around there. I can sort of see now why you'd want to rotate on the other hand, because I can't really rotate. You come back on yourself. I can't really rotate accurately with my right hand whilst I've got... Oh, it's because it's a very sharp corner. Whilst I'm trying to control this slightly finicky, is that the word I'm looking for? Very light touch accelerator you need to do this. We just went past the other car. Yeah, this course is amazing. Tricky. Very tricky. Okay, let's take a look at a couple of the American desert tracks then. Start off with the first one, that makes sense. Or will we? Yeah, we'll start off with the first one. I would quite like, well, I like different cars available. It does seem like the cars are changing. I'm not sure they have any sort of noticeable difference. But having cars themed to the area might be quite nice. Because we saw very, obviously, American pickup trucks and sport cars and everything in the British countryside. It'd be quite nice to see, you know, British kind of cars and American cars in the American desert. That'd be quite a nice little touch. And the music, if the music changed at all, would be quite nice, like at any point. But again, if it was themed to the zones, that would be quite cool. So there was a couple of points where I thought I was just about getting the hang of the kind of finesse of the throttle. And then a course like this comes up and I'm like, nope, haven't got it at all, haven't got it at all. You see, oh, I was lucky to get around that hairpin. Lucky to get around that hairpin. So as with any sort of racing, I guess, it's all about learning where it is you can go full throttle, not at that corner, and how much you have to slow down to get around the corners and everything. The difference is that because it's such a short track and the acceleration is quite high when you just whack the accelerator down. You have to like have really nicely fantastic reflexes to get around some of it. Like, I'm really struggling to keep up. Usually after a couple of laps I can keep up with the AI player. As you can see, I'm struggling a little bit here. And every time you come off and you lose precious seconds. And that's what does it in completely. Right, let's take a look at another one then. Let's just skip straight up to 8, which we're expecting to be a bit more complex. And then we'll take a quick look at the create a track option and see how robust that is. Go with this one. Go with the blue one. Oh wow, it goes underneath. Like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's give it a go. I suspect we're going to suck. If we come off straight away. Not a great start. Little loop there. We're not in last place, but that's actually just because we caused a bit of a traffic jam behind us when we crashed. Not because we're actually any good. Oh, we come off again there somehow. The car collisions do sound a little bit like someone tapping a microphone. There are a lot of collisions on this track. The AI is struggling on itself here a little bit. Where did I... Oh my god, I went back miles. Yeah, there seems to be such a narrow band you can actually play with in terms of the accelerator. But I guess that's, you know, that's learning how to play the game, isn't it? And I suppose if, obviously the game's going to be targeted quite heavily at slot racing enthusiasts. And I guess those people would have a very, very good expectation of what to do with the controls. Whereas, as I said, I only really played it as a kid, and my expectations are flat out or nothing at all, which obviously doesn't really work in real life. I still don't think I've made it up to third. It's hard to tell from here, and I don't really have the... Oh, did I come off again? Oh, I did. Oh, my word. Oh, if I was in any sensible position, it's now gone. Where am I? Oh, I come off. I must have come off. If we get around there again, which I imagine we will, I don't know how many laps there are. It's hard to tell because it flicks up the sector in front of it. But I'd like to... Well, there it comes. So a little look down there. One more. Yeah, it's a relatively sharp corner down there. Can't exactly go flat out again. Finished. Well, we're not last because that's why it's still going. That's why it hasn't given us this play, because it's waiting for the last person to cross the line. So they must be quite far behind. I guess it's that guy. We're probably second from last, I'm guessing, right? Fifth, yes. Second from last. Well, there we go then. Cool. Let's have a look. Guessing there's nothing in low... Well, does have the workshop? But I don't have anything from the workshop yet. Pre-built. Bedroom small circuit. Bedroom floor circuit. Let's have a quick look at one of these, as it is a different track from the ones we've been experiencing. Oh, it's... Oh, and then it gives you the chance to play around with it yourself. Oh, and you can change the lighting. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. How would I... Race mode. I'll just put it anywhere. Yep. Where are the controllers? Oh, it's got the different cars. Class A. Must be what we're on. Oh, S, sorry. S, A, B. Well, they are very sporty. And then D is basically everything else. And there are the control. There's a lot more controllers than there were before as well. Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to properly loop back on itself, isn't it? Oh, there's the start race control. So imagine if you had like pictures of like your childhood track that you and your dad spent like 7 weeks building or something, and you could just come into here and remake it. How cool is that? How cool is that? Let's go into edit mode a second, because I'm holding that. Oop. How do I? You can just pull it apart. Obviously, we're a little limited here, I guess, by the table. Let's pop out of here a second. Oh, there's the edit options. I quite like that. Disable gravity. And over here is where you can just pop it straight to workshop. That's quite cool. Let's hit workshop. All items. So at the moment there is nothing. It is obviously quite a recent game. I believe, is it in early access? I'm not sure if it's in early access or not. I think I might have made that up. I don't want to hit that again. 102. New track. Map. Attic. Template. Square. Start. What have we got? Just because it's a massive square to work with. Let's just make a very, very quick track. I'm just going to put down some bits, and then we're going to figure out how to connect them all together. You've got the scenery and everything. And there are pages of this. Oh, I see. Oh. I don't know how long it's going to take us to build a simple course. It'd be nice if there was a way of saying, like, I want to duplicate this bit. Oh, hello. That must do something. Oh my god, I picked up that. Oh, that's duplicated it. It's done it somehow. Ah, yes, it was just that and then the grab. That's quite nice. So yeah, so that's the B button to create the little highlight thing, and then just use your grab on your controller, and boom! You can duplicate the piece. I like that, I like that. The reason it might seem a little finicky from what I'm doing is that I did enable a grip toggle, so I have to grip to pick it up and then grip again to let go, which is why it might seem a little like it's not behaving, but it's not actually the game not behaving, it's just the control scheme. I've picked up a whole piece of table. I picked up the actual table. Put the table down, you madman. Let's pop that bit there. It'd be nice if you could maybe fix the table so you didn't have that option. There's a straight bit. Let's use this straight bit. And we'll go straight for another straight bit. And obviously I'm trying to make this relatively simple. And again, I'm sure many of you have memories of doing this in your rooms, trying to make it. Oh, I've got a whole new table bit again, and I can't get rid of it. I can't pick it up. Oh, there we go. You can just go over there. There must be a way to delete them as well, but we'll figure that out some other point. Oh, it's not going to quite line up, is it? How do you solve that problem? How do you solve that problem? Oh, you can kind of make it fit. Oh, no, can you? Maybe? Is it? I don't know. There was a point there where it seemed like maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's find out. Race mode. I want one of those. Is what I want. Let's grab ourselves a controller. We'll go with the sort of cyan blue. Well, it's working now. In theory, that means it's connected, because otherwise it wouldn't have a circuit, but... Oh, I don't think it is. No, it's not. But we got very close. We got very close. Cool. Well, we're going to leave that there then. Again, a massive thank you to the devs for letting me have a quick look at the game. That is very much appreciated. I mean, I don't know what I expected. I mean, obviously expected something very similar to that, but I actually really enjoyed that. I don't know if you could tell. I'm sure I came across. But yeah, that was it's surprisingly well done. There are definitely a few things that could be added on. So, like, in the music, that sort of thing. Any sort of difficulty options. Some sort of assist to help you with your... corner entry speed, or maybe like a mode where you don't fall off, so you can just flat out. Obviously that makes it way too easy, but you know, some sort of options. I'm pretty sure there aren't anything like that. If we no, controls graphics would expect, so no, I don't think there is. I did look through the options beforehand as well, and I can't see anything there for that. But yeah, enjoyed it, and the track editing, I suspect, is where the game is really going to come into it. Without any sort of difficulty for the AI, stood on my cable. Without any sort of difficulty for the AI, the campaign's going to be, once you've mastered those tracks, you've mastered those tracks. You're not going to be going back and replaying it all that often. I suspect it is the track editing option, which is really going to drag people in and hook them into the game. So, and that seems to be really well done. Really well done. It's quite nice to be able to build. Obviously, you know, if this was a flat screen game, you'd have some sort of control interface and you'd be able to click and add some sort of grid and blah, blah, blah. But just being able to pick the pieces up with your hands and just building it, it's just, yeah, all that nostalgia comes flying back. It comes flying back. Good job, devs. Good job. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe, I was going to say. Already said that. Don't forget to stream on Wednesdays at 7 PM UK time playing Satisfactory, which is just a wee bit different to Slot Racers VR, but it's just as good, I can promise you. So come along and say hello there. Otherwise, I will see you next time in some other magical VR adventure. And as always, thank you very much for joining me.